Hello, this is another episode of Savagetimetv. I'm your host, AB Brisley, and today I have special guest Tynisha with me today.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm kind of up and down, with the weather and with coronavirus. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. Yeah, it's raining. It reminds me of Seattle. I'm not a big fan of the rain every day.
I'm trying it.
And plus, I'm a spring baby. I like it to be sunny. I'm a May baby. I want it to be sunny and nice. I don't really like the rain like that.
It's coming. Just wait for it.
It is.
Okay.
I can't wait. And actually, my birthday's on Mother's Day this year.
May 10th. I already know you were supposed to go to Chicago. I told you I was taking notes.
It wasn't cool though because
Canceled.
it's not that it's canceled. It's just that when your birthday's on Mother's Day, it's kind of like
You gotta share with your mom.
not share. It's not really a share. It's most like
Well,
just.
what you doing?
It's more like just be quiet. Don't even make a post. Don't do that because then it looks selfish.
You better go on and say it's your
looks selfish.
birthday.
It looks selfish.
Nah.
But hopping into it, could you tell us where you're from?
Delaware 302. Won't he
That's
do
what's up.
it?
That's what's up. We're small. But I tell people all the time there's a lot of talent out here.
I love Delaware.
Even though people are kind of to themselves, but I think if people start to get out more and we get more eyes on Delaware, there's a lot of, talent here.
Absolutely.
And I saw that you're a musician, a singer, an artist. Could you tell me which was your first love?
Actually, dancing was my first love. I started ballet when I was like 3, and then I moved to jazz, and then I started getting into singing and songwriting. Probably by 8, I was playing violin, and by 9, I'm writing songs. So it started early.
And with the ballet, did you have the toes? The toes?
Not at 3. At 3, they have you doing little cute things where you like a bumblebee and you just hitting like a little step. That's about it, though.
Okay, so you never got to the point of
no,
this.
I was chunky.
I was concerned for you a little bit.
I was chunky, and they don't let chunky people really get that far. Just kidding. I'm
I was about to say okay, all right, okay, so you grew into it. Okay, that's because I was saying you're not. So, and you said you got into jazz. What made you get into jazz first out of every
Jazz style dancing it looked almost like hip hop to me back in the 90s. So it was ballet's not really my fit. Let's try jazz. And it was fun, but I didn't last that long in that either.
Okay.
Enter music violin, and I had a keyboard and so many instruments. I had an accordion, doing a lot.
Wow, so you just pick up whatever.
And just start going as long as I can.
And as long as it makes a sound.
Basically, if you come to my house, I have a didgeridoo. You know what that is?
I don't. Explain, please.
It's like this long Australian indigenous instrument that you just kind of blow into, and it makes this low drone sound. It's crazy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got a cello. I got too many instruments that I really don't play.
But you just like to learn and just.
I just like instruments. They're fun.
Okay. And we're influences. Has anybody played an influence on you just as an artist with music?
Well, my dad introduced me to so much awesome music when I was a kid, like Cameo and Prince. The first cassette tape that I had was Prince Purple Rain, and I'm 7, 8 years old, walking around singing Darling Nikki. Mm-hmm. You know them lyrics are not appropriate for a 7-year-old.
And they aren't, but one thing about back in the day is that I realized that not that they weren't as vulgar, but they could get away with a lot of stuff. If you listen to the old Motown stuff, they were saying what you would probably say is vulgar, but they just worded it different. So you could play it around kids, and you could just you weren't really paying attention.
That's the way you do it. You don't actually need to say it today.
Hey, sometimes you gotta say what you feel. Not
doing too much.
Some people think they're doing just enough. Some people think they're doing just enough, though.
Say it more artfully for me. You know what I mean?
Some people don't got time for all that. It's like with Kendrick.
Oh, I got time.
It's like with Kendrick. You can't just every day get in your car and bump Kendrick. There's certain times for Kendrick.
That's good music.
It is good music, but there's certain times for Kendrick, and then there's certain times for somebody like Uzi, or for somebody
No, I don't even listen to him.
You don't listen to Uzi? Well, that's because you haven't had the experience yet. You don't know what I'm talking about. You gotta broaden your horizons. You sitting here
I don't know.
You want this single narrow? I'm just saying.
I need instruments in my music.
They have that's one of the big things. I'm telling you,
I'm gonna listen to Uzi.
Just listen a little bit. If you could collaborate with any artist or any musician, who would it be? It's if you had a dream collab.
A dream collab. I like Sade. Ooh, Janet was definitely my Janet Jackson was my go-to girl.
Just a side note. And you was in the 90s, so you understand what I'm saying. Who are you taking? 90s Janet Jackson, Poetic Justice, that Janet Jackson, or Nia Long? in the 90s?
Obviously, 90s Janet. She had it going on.
What are y'all doing? It's Nia Long every day of the week.
For beauty aspects or for total package?
Beauty aspects.
Janet had that.
Did you not see
Did
Nia?
you see her body? Did you see her dance moves?
I did. Did you not see Nia in The Best Man? Did you not see it?
Nah, I don't be watching no movies like that.
See, you didn't see Nia in The Best Man, but she had my boy about to come over. She was looking
her
crazy.
body was like that?
Because she is slim, but she knew how to, you know how it is. If you're slim, but you know what you're doing with your body and how to make it look.
She looks great, but Janet had the abs. Janet had
So did
abs.
Nia. She was running in Boys in the Hood.
Janet had the booty though, too.
That's true. But she also looks like Mike.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
I'm just saying, who does Nia look like? Nia.
She look like Nia.
But Janet, you could see the mic in it. You could see it.
I mean, she can't help that. That's her brother. What you expect?
Hey, I'm expecting you to pick Nia Long in this situation.
Nah, I'm a Janet all the way.
Okay, so Janet Jackson.
Yes.
And I saw you brought up Prince. I could definitely see how the instruments play, because he was a lot with the instruments.
I wanted to grow up and be
But you would, of course, put Michael Jackson above him, of course. Rest in peace to the king.
No.
Wow.
I know. I'm weird like that.
Wow.
I know. Don't tell anybody
Thriller Mike?
else.
Thriller Mike.
I love Michael Jackson, no doubt, but
so that's who we're talking about, though, right? Thriller
but
Mike.
Prince is just so good to me. Like, I think it's just because I know your face is looking crazy. Your face is looking real crazy.
Y'all, I'm telling you.
I just really love Prince. My whole life.
You know what? I understand your perspective.
I'm loyal. I'm a Cancer. I'm loyal.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Some people just.
It's just how it is. Mike's got that.
Some
like
people
nobody
like to swim
can touch
upstream.
him.
People like to swim upstream.
And whose legacy is going to live longer at this point?
Michael Jackson.
With all this going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on with Michael Jackson?
What's going on with him?
Devontae, help him. What is going on with Michael Jackson?
There's nothing going on with Mike. He was acquitted of all and found innocent. I don't understand what y'all want.
Well, I don't get to play Michael Jackson at my school for my students no more.
That's okay. We can't say prayer either.
This brand new generation, how much Michael Jackson are they gonna know?
A lot.
When their parents are like, no, you're not allowed to listen to Michael Jackson because he's a pedophile. Can't say that word. Can I say that word? Can I say that word? I ain't say that word. I ain't say that word.
Wow. But
I'm just saying what it is.
We're not even going to
so
get
Prince
into.
don't have that type of tarnished legacy. It's like
tarnished
Cosby.
legacy.
Prince's legacy is not
because
tarnished.
he wasn't great enough to get tarnished. They had to sit Michael down. Michael was doing too much.
Is he really? Did he just say that?
Michael, did he not have Sony? Did he not buy Sony? I'll never remember Prince.
You know what?
I can't let you just talk crazy about Mike.
I wasn't talking crazy about Mike. You're not going to talk crazy about Prince. But that was the job.
So how would you describe your sound?
I think it's very eclectic, you know. I like a lot of instruments. I like a funk sounding bass. I like trap music. I like classical music. So I think those elements all come together and synergize into my sound, which I don't know. Maybe Lizzo would be an artist that's kind of similar, but I don't really know. Doja Cat? Doja Cat. I love her. Yes. I love Doja Cat.
You said eclectic and a lot of different sounds. That's definitely a Doja Cat type of feel. And I just got on to her. I just realized what trip hop. Somebody just described to me what trip hop is. Just described to me all.
Wait, trip hop? That's a new genre?
Yeah, it's a new genre. I guess that's what Doja Cat.
They're doing too much.
Yeah, so it's called trip hop. As an artist, you have your ups and downs. What would you say has been your biggest hurdle you've had to overcome?
I think first hurdle was just believing in myself enough to pursue what I knew I wanted, you know. And then I think the second hurdle was getting people on your team to believe and have the same end in mind that you have. And then I guess now it's just getting the music out there that people enjoy, you know, and as much as I do. And I almost said a bad word. I had to retract.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can say what you want. You can say what you want.
What if my grandma watched this? I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's you being real and honest. That's all you can ask for.
True.
What would you say was your first moment of gratification, just like with music, with dance, like that first moment where you thought that your hard work was finally paying off?
I feel like the first moment that I felt it was actually an orchestra. Being on stage and hearing that applause was like, wow, you know what I mean? It was really a rush. And then, just having people appreciate what you're doing and just doing it sometimes is such a rush. Is such a rush.
That's good.
No drug is like it.
Well, I would beg to differ. I'd beg to differ. I'd say marijuana, but that's not a drug, y'all. That's not a drug.
Okay, well, marijuana is not the same. It's not like a rush. You know what I mean? Like when you get on stage, it's almost like sex. Oh, grandma, don't judge me. But I really feel like being on stage and performing and being creative, it's almost in that same category as like a climax. Like it's like.
I was about to say, you said a rush and it's stimulating.
Marijuana is not.
I mean, it's stimulating, you know, and it's creative. That definitely is.
It is, but I feel like marijuana is so like chill, like.
Marijuana is all about being creative. I mean, Kid Cudi.
But it's chill.
It's chill, but you can be creative and chill. You don't got to be bouncing off the wall to be creative.
It's like that climax, like.
So, yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but you can be chill and climax.
Like, bro, like it's here, and then music is like. You just
I feel you. It's an understand, but like I said, like I did with Michael Jackson, I got to stick up for the weed smokers because I would say that weed enhances everything.
That's
with that
Michael Jackson.
Sex, music, creative. If you add a blunt to any situation, it usually
like right
gets
now,
better. It usually gets better.
Like right now.
I'm smoking. Right now, so.
And enjoy all of it.
For a fact. And like you were saying, you were in an orchestra. And you said you were playing the violin. Didn't know if that's what you were speaking of, but you were talking about how you play the violin. Could you tell us why the violin, out of every instrument, has stuck with you? I
feel like the violin is so close to voice, and I so wanted to be a singer growing up, but nobody ever said, "Oh, you can sing, girl." So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna pick this instrument that's close to voice, and I'm gonna do my best with it." You know, there's no frets, there's no buttons, there's no keys to get your pitches right, and it's just very fluid, very much like your vocal cords are. And I just loved it. Okay. You know, it's my best friend.
Yeah, violin is, I've heard it's really, really hard.
It can be hard. You have to have a good ear.
Okay. And when I saw that you played the violin, I don't know what they're called, but there was this it was a duo. It was two black guys.
Black violin.
There you go. And they played like the hip hop type. And I was like, lit. How did they do that? Like,
but what they're playing is so classically based. You know what I mean? It's very much Baroque style. And honestly, Baroque is my favorite style of classical music. It sounds like hip hop. They've got that basso continuo that is like giving you that bass feel. Like it. I literally listen to Baroque music like, hey,
and it's being played on a violin.
And it's Bach. And it's like, oh, it's the whole orchestra. It's like a whole experience that I don't think anybody really knows.
Wow. I definitely will say that I've just started getting into maybe orchestrated music.
It's
just
good.
Like realizing how much of talent there is and how much of history we have within that genre,
Absolutely.
within that section. So it's just been a real learning experience for me. And then you play the violin, so I just thought that was
confirmation.
That was so
you better get into it.
So is that also your favorite type of music to play on the violin?
No, which is why I don't perform in orchestras anymore. Okay. Like literally I made the switch like last year. I was like, I'm so tired of playing what these old dead guys have written. You know what I mean? Like I want to play something that I've made. I want to be able to improv. I want to be able to play like my friends. They don't have any music in front of them. They are jamming. I'm like, literally I used to be sitting there like, well, what am I supposed to play? You know? So then it was like I just kind of started going with it, you know?
So with orchestra, it's kind of you guys play like...
What the director is telling you, what part you're supposed to, is very measured and very specific, which is cool, and it's a great thing to synergize with the other instruments and the director. It's a vibe, but it's not the same type of vibe that you get when it's your creativity and your freedom.
Yeah, I'm about to say, with your personality, it definitely feels like it would be more... kind of confining.
That's
feels like you're confined.
Absolutely.
So I would say I could definitely see why you just talking to you how you would definitely want to kind of open the box and kind of be able to try new things.
Yeah.
What would you say? Actually, I saw that you're a part of. Maybe not now. Now I know it's not a duet, but I saw with your bandmates. I think the guy's name is Skies Walker.
Sky, shout out to you, Sky. Absolutely.
I do a little
yes,
bit of homework.
That's my boo.
Could you tell me about just like playing with him, playing with your bandmates, like how'd that come about, how that is?
So Sky and I went to school at Delaware State together. That's where we met. Okay. And it was like random. It was a birthday party that I had for my 30th birthday called Fire Tie. And, you know, I was like, come on, musicians, come out and jam. Sky came along with some other musicians, and we ended up forming a band that day named 211. You know what I mean? Okay. 211 didn't work out. Dom from the BNL, shout out to Dom, BNL, asked me in January or December. He was like, I'm interested in having some live music. I've worked with Dom in the past with 211. He was like, come play. So it was Sky's birthday. I hit him up, happy birthday. And I was like, wait a minute, you play guitar. I'm looking for somebody to accompany me so I can hit this gig at the B&L. You wanna rock? And Sky was like, absolutely. So Sky puts all the tracks, every song that we play, he makes every single piece of the song on his loop station. So we've got like 40, maybe 50 songs now, and he's made every drum kick, every sound, just from himself. So he's a monster.
I'm gonna say he's talented.
He's a super monster.
I might have to talk to him.
Absolutely.
For sure. The talent, and it's, like I said, we're trying to get as much as we can, and that sounds crazy because you're saying he made all that off of a loop. That sounds really interesting. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Skies Walker.
Get Will's Ballad too. Will's Ballad makes all my tracks for my EP except for one. He's made all of them. He is a beast on the keys. He likes synthesizers. He likes all that kind of stuff. Like he is a musical genius. Like I really think he is.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's good that, like you said, you were looking to find that team. It sounds like you've found those parts that wanted as bad as you, it sounds like.
Listen, it took him a minute to get into it. Mm-hmm. Like, Will, took him a minute to get into it. Like, I think it's just like clash of personality sometimes. Like, I'm really like out there like, let's do it. And he's kind of conservative. So when he was in the band, our band would be like fighting nonstop. And then it was like all of a sudden, like yesterday, he went from, we can't do that or you can't do that to, let's just see what happens. I'm like, oh, I'm winning. Let's go.
That's good though. Opposites bring out, I think, more in each other.
For sure.
For sure. Switching it up, if you could define, what does mental health mean to you?
Oh my gosh, mental health is like mental wealth. Health is wealth overall, right? Mm-hmm. So it's important to keep that positive. I feel like you can spiral so quickly in your mental health if you don't keep it positive and focus on what is good.
For sure. And I think that, mental health is something, especially in the Black community, that's just, doesn't talked about a lot. And sometimes when you bring it up, it's kind of shunned to the left. And especially in the music industry, you don't get to see artists and just creatives. You don't get to see the other side, And some people say that, their best music, best art comes out of when they're depressed or when they've been sad. And it's like, you guys don't realize those are real people going through real things. Mm-hmm. So if you could just maybe just give some insight on how maybe you feel the mental health affects the Black community, and maybe just how you think we can just get better with dealing with it. If you could just share your thoughts on that.
I just feel like overall, don't be afraid of your emotions. I think emotional intelligence is something that we need to accept. People want to think that crying is a bad thing. It's not. It's like a release, People think that talking to somebody about your problems is a bad thing. It's not. It's a release. It's helping you to be better. And I just think overall we need to just keep striving to be better in our community, and don't be afraid. Like, do not be afraid that what you're feeling is wrong or inappropriate. It's real. You feel that way for your reason in your own paradigm, like it's real to you. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and express what you need to express to get it out, or go to the next step. Whatever it is that you need, seek that help. If it's writing, if it's singing, if it's performing, if it's whatever. Like, I literally had this whole break down my own self. Like, when I was writing the title track to my EP, I was literally in the worst spiral that I had ever been in. Mm-hmm. Like, mental health is real. Wrote myself out of it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
A rose through stone. Like, do whatever it is that you need to do to be the best you.
Okay, and I definitely can agree with that. Like you said, you were writing something and it brought you out of that. And I think a rose through a stone. Could you please explain to us, maybe give us a little preview what that's all about?
Absolutely. Like, I was going through some crazy times this past summer, and I basically was on the other side where it was like the rainbow was happening, and I was thinking, like, doesn't Tupac have this one poem about the rose that grew through concrete or something like that? Mm-hmm. Honestly, I was thinking about Tiana Taylor, Rose in Harlem.
Okay.
How this beautiful creation is being formed amidst this kind of desolate area. And in this moment, I just felt very desolate and barren. Like, it can't get any worse from this, but I am emerging beautiful and powerful and strong. Yeah. And that's what the rose symbolized. And the whole song, and really the whole EP or album now, is kind of around that premise that
premise of breaking through a rose to a stone. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I definitely know what you're talking about with the Tupac poem.
Right.
For sure. I can't think of it off the top of my mind, but I definitely understand what you're talking about. I also saw that you just became a homeowner.
Yes, I have a home. I actually became a homeowner in 2000. It's been 5 years.
Congrats on that.
2015. I got my first rental property recently.
Oh, yes, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. If you could just talk to us about, just ownership and just, owning in the business side and just how that's important because, again, in the Black community, I think that's something that's we need to know more about is like ownership, being able to make money work for yourself and to have ownership because like when you own land, you own it. And, that's something you could pass through your family. So could you just like give us some talk about that, about just ownership?
Don't pay somebody else if you don't have to. So basically, I feel like I wanted to stop paying a renter. Like I was in a apartment at the time or a condo at the time, and it was just like, well, why would I pay this rental the same amount that I could pay into a mortgage to have this property be myself? So I just took a leap. Like I think a lot of people just are. Maybe they're scared. I think fear limits us too much, you know? Like, don't be afraid to try something new. Literally, every one of us in this room is paying the same amount of money for a rental property that we could pay for a home, right? So it's like, why? Why do that? Why pay somebody else when you can pay your own self?
Okay, I definitely agree with that.
So,
again, congrats. That's
Thank
awesome
you.
that, you're in ownership. That's great to see. I was listening to the song Take Control, and I wanted to know where did the inspiration for that record come from?
I was literally going through this period of life where it's just like everybody in your family or everybody around you is always telling you what they think is best for you based on their perspective and their experience in life. And they don't necessarily have your vision. They don't necessarily even have your best interests in mind. So it was like, I need to take control of what I want. I think my family was like so interested in me getting married and I wasn't doing it, having a family, like they're like, oh, you just bought this house, you're a teacher, like go ahead and do that. But that wasn't fulfilling for me at the time. So I was just like writing, like take control of my world and what I was feeling. And even though it's a little bit scary, like just keep going for it. And it kind of transformed into anybody's life. Take control of your emotions, take control of your finances, take control of your health. Like just take control of your world, your paradigm to make the best version that you can possibly have.
And that's dope because I definitely think society definitely always puts their views out there, and family, even when they love you, they just sometimes just don't understand your vision, your
Absolutely.
dreams. And, they mean well, so they push, certain things on you because they want to see you happy.
Right.
But it's hard sometimes to be able to trust yourself to say, hey, I got to tell my family, even if they're not going to like it, this is what I'm doing. And either you can be with it or you can be without it. Talking more, 2020 has been great, aside from the coronavirus.
Right.
A lot of things. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant also.
Right.
But it's pushed creatives to really put out a lot more content and to find more creative ways to do things.
Absolutely.
And so could you just talk about your favorite music of 2020? What have you been listening to recently?
I mean, you mentioned Doja Cat. Like,
okay.
she's definitely a vibe right now. Beyonce's got me listening to Meg Thee Stallion right now. I didn't even listen to Meg Thee Stallion with the Savage until Beyonce got on that.
It was dope, wasn't it?
She had me listen to like the whole Sugar album on the way up here. Like, how'd she do that? How'd she do that?
It's a vibe.
It's an entire vibe. But honestly, I listen to Prince every day. Prince has why are you looking like that?
I was just because what we talked about earlier, and now you're saying Prince. Then you brought up Beyonce. I want to ask you something else, but I already know where you're probably going to go with that.
I love him. Go ahead, ask
me. So would you, Beyonce or Chris Brown?
I mean, how do you compare those? It's like apples and oranges.
Chris Brown, right?
Oh my gosh.
Nope. Apples and oranges? No? You think it's not even a comparison?
It's apples and oranges.
Like, you really going to act like Chris Brown is not Chris Brown?
Chris Brown is amazing, right? But so is an apple.
Is it?
Beyonce is incredible, but so is an orange. Like, how do you compare both of them? I don't really know.
You definitely can compare. You can
so you're picking Chris Brown over
for sure. Overall, for sure.
Why?
Why not? I mean, he's a better dancer.
His numbers aren't better.
His numbers? What do you mean? What's
his sales?
What's
his
Beyonce's
reach
last
around
album?
The entire
what's
world?
Beyonce's last Solo album.
Oh, you would have to say solo, huh?
No. I mean.
And people still listen to Lemonade.
Listen,
People still listen to Lemonade. What you mean?
Now, like you were saying, Heartbreak on a Full Moon, Chris Brown, he's coming off that, 40 tracks, 20 of them top 100.
That's his newest one?
Meanwhile.
Oh, I thought it was Indigo. I don't even know.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, it was. My bad, because it's been hot for so long.
It's so much music.
He gives out so much fire content.
Why you gotta put out 35 songs on your album?
Why
you know
not?
what I mean?
When you're great.
But all of them are great. You love all of them songs. Or you
could be like Beyonce.
Or I like all them songs.
Or you could be like Beyonce and have to hop on something. I mean,
oh, that's a little spicy.
It's not.
Beyonce, he's a little spicy.
It's just being really real because people want to bring up Lemonade. I'm like, how long was that ago? And the only reason why, like, you just brought up Beyonce was because of who? Meg Thee Stallion. And before that, it was Jay-Z's album. I'm just saying.
That wasn't Jay-Z's album. It was the Carter's album. It was their album together. Juntos. That's rude. That's really rude.
That was Hove's album.
That's really rude. You know what I mean?
That was Hove's album. And then dancing. You telling me Beyonce can dance like Chris Brown? Have you seen Stomp the Yard?
I said, this is like
have you seen
oranges
Stomp?
and apples. It's different.
Have you seen Stomp the Yard?
Who really dances like Chris Brown? Let's just put it there.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
So if we're gonna put it like
because a lot of people dance like Beyonce.
Who is dancing like Beyonce?
Tiana Taylor.
Nah, she in a different category. It's different.
So
it's different.
Different. Okay.
It's
but
different.
All I'm saying is, can she stand on her collarbone?
Tiana Taylor?
No. Beyonce.
Stand on Chris Brown's?
No, I'm just saying because the Stomp the Yard, my man was upside down with a hat on, like looking at you crazy.
Chris Brown was in Stomp the Yard?
I know you've seen it.
I did. He was in that.
2 minutes.
And he's got the most memorable scene.
Boy, I don't remember none of that.
You don't remember none of it? Okay.
That was like 2005.
Amnesia. That's, you know what? Amnesia.
But I'm gonna trust that he was in there. He probably was looking real sexy. I can't lie. Like Chris Brown is delicious. But
see how we're shifting.
Somebody offered Beyonce tickets or Chris Brown tickets. I'm taking Beyonce. I like the experience.
So that's more of a team effort, though. That's her and her team. Like that's just her budget.
Chris Brown got a team. What you think? Everybody got a team.
Wow. So you think? Okay. So you remember her Coachella performance?
Absolutely. That was amazing.
So do you think if Chris Brown performed at Coachella, you think it would be the same?
No.
You don't think it would be the same quality?
No.
Okay.
That's like, have you been to Chris Brown's performance or seen it on YouTube or something?
I mean, I remember the Take You Down joint on the moving stage where Beyonce would have fell because she fell.
Listen, that's when Chris Brown was most delicious. So we're not even gonna go there.
She fell on a still stage. So the one that was moving that Chris Brown was on.
Oh, you tried it. He tried it. Like Beyonce don't got to do everything in a pair of stilettos.
All I'm saying is, is that our fault that she put stilettos on?
That's not nobody's fault.
She could have put on flats.
That is just telling you what is the expectation of women in our society is.
Oh, so now
heels. You gotta have the heels on.
Okay, we're shifting to society
and
their views on women.
And being a beast and doing it all in heels.
That's okay.
You not doing that in heels?
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not falling, but I'm not falling regardless.
Yeah, you gonna fall. Let's get him some heels, Devontae.
It's okay though.
Next YouTube series, Brandon
wears
stilettos.
No, not at all. Not at all. Matter of fact, y'all know me. No. So, what would you say would be your goals for the next 2 or 3 years?
Oh, definitely. I want to tour. So the EP is coming out really soon. Goal is tour. We mentioned about properties. I need at least 5 or 6 in the next 2 or 3 years.
As you should. You should be trying to get as many properties as you can.
Absolutely. It's like real life Monopoly. That was my favorite game as a kid. So.
Oh, wow.
Let's keep passing go, getting these coins,
give me,
right?
Push.
But yeah, no, I really do want to keep doing everything I'm doing now, but like times 10. Maybe I'll date somebody or something. Like maybe I could throw that in the mix. You know what I mean? Times
okay, like for the viewers though, because there's people that's gonna be watching. So you're single.
I am single. Hey, how you doing, fellas?
She's out there, Dover, Delaware. Is not a lot out there, guys. It's not a lot. A lot of field.
Absolutely.
A lot of field.
So invite me to your city so we can have an experience.
Exactly. You gonna fly yourself out?
Where are we going? Because I like to fly.
I'm just asking.
Come on, let's go. We're going to LA. I like LA.
Okay.
I like somewhere cute.
LA. You got a passport?
Yes, I have a passport.
Oh, there you go. I just had to make sure.
You can't be a boss without a passport.
Oh, that's gonna get a couple people a little.
I'm sorry. Erase that, Devontae. Erase that, please.
She said if you don't got a passport,
you're not a boss. Where you? Okay.
So you being a music teacher, you being in music, I know you influence a lot of people. A lot of people probably look up to you. People that you know probably don't know. If you could give a message to the youth, what would that be? Just about following their dreams, anything like that. What would that message be?
Believe in yourself. What you feel on the inside is not wrong. Don't let anybody tell you that what you feel is wrong. Right? Because I feel like a lot of people, their dreams get shut down before they begin because somebody has told them, no, that's not for you.
That's true.
How heartbreaking. As a teacher, that is my number one goal, is just to encourage and promote my students' strengths.
For sure. The music and our teachers were always fun.
Yeah, that's where people actually get to be themselves. Like, of course, math and reading and writing are important, but...
Yeah, but after basic arithmetic and basic reading, they could have done a lot more, like maybe a tax class, understand interest rates.
I don't teach outside of basic math and reading area, so I don't really know what's going on in the other grades, but, like, I'm in elementary.
You went through school, though.
What was we doing in school, Brandon? Did you learn anything?
I learned it. I learned a little bit.
I learned how to get that A.
Okay.
I don't think I really retained too much. I learned how to show that I maybe know what's going on, but I don't think I really retained what was being told.
Okay.
Did you?
I mean, I did a little bit. Like, I know the convention cycle. I know that.
Like,
I know the convention
class?
cycle.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
How we get rain, all that good stuff.
See, I missed that lesson.
Well, you just thought it just
condensation and all that.
Yeah,
that's something. Look at you.
You said it. You said it, not me. You said
I know that word condensation, but that's about it.
All right. And where can our fans find you at? Like where are you available?
Definitely Tynisha, TYNISHA_H on Instagram, SoundCloud too. My YouTube page is Tynishas Sounds, because you need a last name on there. And
yeah, you do. You definitely don't want one name. I mean, don't get me wrong, Madonna have one name, so you could definitely do a one name thing, but it's hard out there right now.
Yeah, I'm not going with my own last name. That's doing too much. Yes. I mean, they can find my entire government. No. But yeah, come find me.
Okay, guys. Well, this is Savagetimetv. It's your host, A.B. Brisley. Again, we have the wonderful Tynisha with us today. It was awesome. Check us out on YouTube, all platforms. Check the podcast out. And like I said before, Chris Brown is better than Beyonce. Prince will never see Michael Jackson.
Listen, he's doing too much. He was doing good until this part.
Cut it now.